As creatives, as business owners, as humans, we're all interested in a number of different things, but if you identify as a multi-passionate entrepreneur, then life can be a little bit extra challenging. It's not easy when your interests are pulling you into all these different directions, and wouldn't it be nice if all of our passions just aligned? But the reality is they rarely do. So how do you build a personal brand when you're juggling so many different things? I'm Annie, I'm a brand and web designer and founder of emptistudio, and if you want to build a personal brand about all things that is you without having to niche down, then this article that we're going to be diving into today is going to be super helpful, and it's called A Multi-Passionate Entrepreneur's Guide to Building a Personal Brand. There's 6 key lessons to cover, so we're going to dive into it step by step, and don't worry about taking notes because I'm going to be linking this whole slide deck for you down below so you can keep referring back. The good news is you don't have to choose between your passions. Your personal brand can represent the full range of what it is that you do, and it requires some epic time management and a solid process. So step number 1 is radical acceptance of your time limits. The truth is you don't have time for all of your ideas. I hate to say it, but I've been there. A lot of us, we are thinking up a bunch of side projects, but maybe you can relate to this. None of them are doing that well, and some of them may not be off the ground. And why is that? It's because we are spreading ourselves way too thin. James Clear said this: focus is the art of knowing what to ignore. You need to shelve some ideas for now. I'm not saying that you'll never get to them, but if you want to move forward, you really have to prioritize. Pick 1 or 2 things and pour all of your energy into those. And if your focus is split too many ways, none of your ideas will get the attention, the well-deserved attention that they need. Step 2 is to find the connective tissue between all of your passions. And what this means is that even your ideas seem completely unrelated, there's always a common thread, and your job is to find that common thread. This connective tissue is what will become the foundation of your whole personal brand. Once you find that common thread, everything, it just becomes a lot clearer. It simplifies your messaging and it gives you a starting point to build your personal brand. And as Marie Forleo says, clarity comes from engagement, not thought. So don't sit around trying to figure it out in your head. Get into action and try to explore all these overlaps. So by connective tissue, what does it mean? So that is kind of like the theme and narrative through your journey. So for me, I realized that the theme in my journey is I did not fit the 9-to-5 mold. I really wanted to pursue things that's different. I love design. I tried design studios. I tried design agencies, but I just felt really restricted, and I woke up every morning dreading going to work and working on client projects and going through endless revisions and feeling like I don't have any creative control because you're reporting to art directors and you're reporting then to the client, and you become a pixel pusher and just someone who's an order taker rather than someone that actually has a say in where the creative direction is headed. So for me, the undercurrent for my whole brand is to help people make a living doing what they love, because you shouldn't be held back by the restrictions and the overwhelm of a 9-to-5 grind. So think about what is your undercurrent, what is your common thread. Step 3 is to craft that bold mission statement. What this entails is once you've identified that meta thing that connects all of your passions, it's time to create a statement. It's not a fluffy piece of writing, it's a critical tool for staying grounded when things get messy. And trust me, things are going to get messy. Remember, a great mission statement is clear, bold, and backed by a compelling reason of why. So take my mission statement, for example. Mine is that everyone deserves the freedom to break free from stress, burnout, and overwhelm and build a thriving life doing exactly what it is that they love. And the ability to build visually and strategically compelling brands has allowed me to position myself as an expert, command premium rates, and work with clients who truly value my expertise. And now I'm driven and dedicated to help others just like you to unlock that same success. You can go ahead and use this as a template and go ahead and write your own, feel it and really remember it, breathe life and truth into it. Your mission statement, it is your anchor, and when things get tough, when you feel like quitting, this is what you're going to come back to. It's a reminder of why you started in the first place, and it gives your audience a reason to rally around you. Step number 4 is to decide if everything lives under one brand, because it might not. Here's where things get interesting. Ask yourself, should all of your passions actually live under one brand, or are your ideas so different that they need to to be separate. If your passions aren't too far apart and they serve a similar audience with a similar interest, then it's likely that they can all live under one personal brand. For example, my audience is going to be a combination of designers who's looking to brand their clients' businesses, as well as business owners who want to learn branding for themselves. So remember, if your audience or the audience interest overlaps, it makes sense to keep everything under one same umbrella. But if your ideas are too different, too divergent, or if you want to even sell the business one day, it'll be smarter to separate them. Either way, your personal brand is going to act as a glue that ties everything all together. Step 5 is remember to build one thing at a time. The temptation to launch everything at once is real, but multitasking might just be another way of saying we're going to screw up several things at once. Multitasking, it is a myth, and you need to focus on building one thing at a time. If you try to juggle too much, your brand will suffer. I've seen founders crash their businesses because they spread themselves too thin. So get your first brand running smoothly and then only then move on to the next idea. Make sure that that first business is sustainable before you start to split your attention. Otherwise, none of them is going to go anywhere. As Warren Buffett famously said, the difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. Step 6 is to be ruthless with your calendar. And I know not all of us are calendar people, but if you're multi-passionate, you need to manage your time. Juggling multiple projects require meticulous time management. Block off your time for content creation, for marketing, for admin, and everything else that keeps your brand moving forward. Without a plan, it's easy to go a week, 2 weeks, or even forever with not keeping up and not making any progress on any of your projects. Know where your time is also going. Track how much time you think a task will take versus how long they actually take, and adjust your schedule accordingly. Being a multi-passionate entrepreneur, it's a blessing and it's a curse, but with the right strategy, you know that you can build a personal brand that reflects everything you care about without sacrificing your sanity on the way. And it comes down to managing your time, finding the common thread between your passions, and focusing on one thing at a time. Remember, you don't have to choose between your ideas. You just need to be smart about how you execute them, and when in doubt, go back to your mission statement. That is the heartbeat of your brand. If you found the tips in here helpful, I know you'll love this video here on the left as well. And if you enjoy listening on the go, you can check our podcast out at the Brand Creator Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.